Epic Gaming Night is made possible by the support of patrons like you. Welcome to the Epic Gaming Night Podcast, a podcast about the stories and relationships board games create. I'm your host, Roy Kennedy, and with me as always is Matt.
Hello.
And Robert Newman.
Hello, hello.
Entering the battle zone.
Welcome to the dungeon.
Welcome to the dungeon. Hype. How's it going, guys?
Did you say go on a hike?
Yeah, go on a hike.
Hiking.
I need to go on a hike. I used to have a job where I ran back and forth all day long stacking boxes on pallets. Now I have a job where I sit in front of a computer and edit videos, or sit in front of a live stream machine and run live streams. And it's not as much physical activity.
That's disgusting.
But
I watched you play a little bit today. I watched for like 10 minutes.
Oh, the games I played were terrible. What did I play? Everything that I played today was terrible.
I watched like the last 10 minutes of that soccer game, and then he opened up the box for that card game, and I had to go.
Tom wasn't very happy about that soccer game.
I mostly talked to Kent.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's funny because I'll watch the chat when I'm like running it, but then when I'm like actually on, like I can't tell if anybody's there, anybody's talking, or I don't even know.
Matt, are you going to Recon in March?
I would like to. It's the last weekend.
Yeah, I think it's at the end of March. We're talking about playing Shadows over Camelot with Kent since he hasn't played. We're talking about selling the copy.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
The 30th first, I believe.
Yeah, that and Brass. But
oh, nice.
He was joking. He was like, "We should play Shadows over Camelot." I was like, "I will move what I need to move to make that happen. We need to play."
That game's awesome.
That game is awesome.
Nice. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about blinging out games. Just 'cause. And I'm hoping you guys picked 3 games that you want to talk about, how you would bling them out.
I hope you picked 3 games.
I did pick 3 games.
I think we're going to have at least one crossover.
Yeah, I want to play a game where we guess which games are on each other's lists for our 3, which shouldn't be hard, seeing that we know each other so well. But before
I think we're all going to have one crossover.
At least, yeah. Like all the same game, or
yeah.
Huh.
I don't know if you guys will have my same other 2, but I'm pretty certain. Roy, you may have one of mine, but I don't know yet if it's one of my. I have a couple of honorable mentions, but they're like 3.5 and 4 basically. Like
say,
so, my
write
3
down the honorable mentions because that could just go on all day long.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to, but I haven't decided yet what my number 3 is yet. I don't want to go first. I want to see what you guys say first.
Cool. Well, did you want to talk about that news thing we talked about, Matt? Because someone actually asked about it in the chat.
All right. Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I just got an email today that was like, "Yo, man, it's a game about throwing burritos at people, and it's on Kickstarter." And I've already forgotten the name of it.
Throw burrito?
Yeah, something like that.
Throw
Yeah,
burrito.
Micah Powers in chat was asking.
He does have all the powers. I'm now going to look it up real quick.
Powers.
Yeah.
Throw burrito.
It seems like a really simple sort of set collection game, and then there's a triggering event, and then there are 2 soft plush burritos that you can throw at your friends, and it's dodgeball.
It is already almost 6,000% funded.
That's crazy.
I mean, they have the guy who does the oatmeal doing all the artwork. So like,
it's already over $500,000.
Yeah, that's how they do.
No, but here's the thing though. It just started, and there are games that I would say are better, and I don't know anything about this game, but don't even reach that goal.
This is one of those, like, this is the people that are backing this are not necessarily.
Look at that picture.
hobby
It says
board
you
gamers.
throw this at people. Get out of town.
It's a very cute burrito.
Bro, that is a cute burrito.
Does
Have
it
you
have a
guys
face
seen the
on it?
trailer for the Lego Movie 2?
No, I haven't.
I've seen some trailers.
You seen the one with the little baby star and it's like, oh no, I'm hurting. Like the little
Yeah,
Lego.
yeah.
To me, that's what that burrito looks like. Like, oh no, don't throw me. Ah!
That's
Bro.
awesome.
Throw things. How it works.
Throw all the burritos. But yeah, so it's made by the same people who did Exploding Kittens. Matt was all like, "Oh, there's a game about burritos." I was like, "Yes!" And he's like, "Made by the same people that do Exploding Kittens." I'm like, immediate hard pass. I mean, I'm sure
It
the
says
game
that
is
it's
fine, but I'm sure
100%
it's really
compatible
light.
with children and grown-ups.
But do they have an After Dark burrito?
Here's the thing, though, man. If I hit a little kid in the face with that burrito, soft or not,
You've succeeded at life, right?
Yeah, I mean, you would have done a good job because children are small targets.
Because
So, you know.
kids love burritos. And if
I guess you get like one shot to throw or something.
if they don't love burritos, they should no longer be in this world. What? No, I'm just kidding.
Man, and it's not a cheap Kickstarter either.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh,
Is it
Friday
crazy? It's
is.
got a plush thing in it?
It is, but then there's like this deluxe extreme edition.
yeah, man, stop with that. That has like inflatable burritos and junk. Like it's just all like
Burrito
they
boffer
took it to a
swords.
factory in China and they were like, "Hey, man, we need some extra stuff to bump up this Kickstarter. What can you give us?" And they're like, "Well, we can give you just random shards of metal." And they're like, "Well, that doesn't do well with kids." And they're like, "We can make little blow up things." And they're like, "Done. How much does that cost? A nickel? All right, let's do it."
That's awesome. Cool.
I kind of want to get this.
I think all the stuff we talked about from Kickstarter last week is doing pretty good still. So,
Guys, I may get this, bro.
oh, you think it might actually be decent enough to get? This is
It's
gonna
a
be
game where the
it's a
rules are
set-
literally telling me to throw something at somebody.
this is
Yeah,
gonna
it's a
be
second-
another unstable unicorns accident waiting to happen.
No, you see, here's the thing. I think this is going to be another Happy Salmon. I don't see anything out of dark. I don't see anything inappropriate. And like what it's talking about is you're trying to make pairs, right?
Yeah.
Like the licky chicky, the barky shark. Like you're trying to make pairs. And then once somebody plays the burrito card, you literally line up back to back. You make 3 steps, and then you throw your burritos at each other.
Nice,
Like, come on.
like a burrito duel.
Like, there's no After Dark or anything that I'm seeing.
That's cool.
But, bro, collect cards, play your hand, throw things. It's a half card game, half dodgeball. And for
That's
$35, it's 100% extraordinary.
Nice.
Man, you know what? I may have to do this, Micah and Matt.
Yeah, man.
Think of all the church fun with a game like that, Rob. Bro. Do you accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior? Burrito in the face. Get baptized. Bam.
What was it?
In hot sauce.
Steven! You have not been baptized.
Nacho Libre.
Yeah.
I believe in science. I live there. For those that have seen that Nacho Libre movie, that's where I lived in Mexico. In Oaxaca. That part of Oaxaca.
That's awesome.
I've been there. It's not awesome. It's still like that today.
It's skin crawling awesome.
Man, I don't know. I definitely put a remind me on it. I think for $35, let me get like a couple closings where I may have to. I don't know. I say that, and then last week I did back like a couple more Kickstarters.
Yeah.
Dude, Terror Below. Speaking of Kickstarters, Terror Below is killing it.
I hope so. That game actually looked really fun.
Are you back, Rob?
Yeah, I backed it. Like,
Remember that
before we
picture I
done
sent you,
talking.
Matt?
um,
I sent,
yeah.
I sent Matt a picture because my email had 3 backed games from Robert Newman back to back.
yeah. It looks great. And we've already unlocked the final stretch goal, and now they're just saying thank you.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I feel like I got a lot of game in Terra Below for $45. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it looks cool, and I saw Tom play with the Tom and Sam and Z and with the creator, and I thought, you know what, that makes it look even cooler, and the fact that you have to do jumps and stunts over the the ravine and things like that. So, yeah, I don't know, I'm just I'm pretty excited for it, but man,
they had legitimate fun with it. So, I mean, they've talked about how good it is, even like after the fact, So
yeah. Well, and for $45, I feel like that's one thing that I kind of want to focus on more this year, right? It's
the smaller things.
well, it's not even this. I feel like that game, for what I saw, for watching them play that game and seeing everything that comes in the box already for that amount, I feel like that is a fantastic value. I'm not just buying the fluff, right? Because they could fluff it out and put plastic all over it, which we're talking about tonight. They could bling it out, and they could charge you a bling price. And I love Zombicide, don't get me wrong, but Zombicide is a lot of fluff.
It's still got, like cool plastic eggs, and like the wooden vehicles are like screen printed and stuff. So,
and it's at a very good price point, I think. And that board's not a small board either. I mean, it's not like it comes in a small box.
It's double-sided for different player counts.
So that's one thing. Like, and I'm very excited for Joan of Arc and other games like that. But there were some games in the past that I just backed because I was like, oh, they look cool. Like, I didn't even really assess, is this something that I think will actually be a really good game? Will this be this? I'm trying to assess, not so much of course money, but I'm trying to assess, is this going to be a game that I'm going to hold on to and want to play? Or is this going to be a game that I'm going to sell because I just backed a Kickstarter that's the better version of that game that just came in?
Right. And it makes you feel like it's like, okay, well, this is a game that I might be able to get to the table with a wider audience, Yeah. Because it seems pretty straightforward and
Tremors
and stuff.
I don't have any games like Tremors right now. And I don't have the only game. I don't think I have any games where you throw something at somebody right now. I have the Rubber Bandito game, or not, the Goblin game. That's still coming in. But as of right now, I have nothing where I have permission to hit somebody with something.
I need to change my address for that game. I forgot to change my address for it.
So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Bro. Matt and Micah. It's the power of the M's. Look at this.
It was just like, I got like 3 emails about it today because all the game designers that I follow were like, I'm back on this game. And I was like, what is this? And I look at it and I was like, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, I guess we can get into what we've been playing. Did you guys actually play anything?
No.
I played the games that Rob saw me play. I did Testing Tuesday today with the Mr. Vassal and Dice Tower peeps. What did we play? We played the beginning of a game of like this Crossmaster football thing called Boof Ball. And boofing is not something that I would normally want to talk about, especially not on the Dice Tower. But yeah, it was basically just move your guys and roll dice and try to knock down the opponent to tackle them, and then move into the end zone and then roll the dice to see. And I mean, if you get there and nobody's blocking you, or you could get there and somebody's blocking you and you have to roll the dice to see if you can get a touchdown. I don't know. I don't really play many, like, there's nothing that appeals to me about like actual like sports board games. Like, I'm not really that much of a sports person, but then a sports board game is like even further the wrong direction. Like, I would probably go outside and play soccer before I'd want to play a soccer board game, and I don't play sports. So but yeah, it was interesting. And then we played a Shogun game. It was called something, but that was meh. Then we played. There was an interesting we played like party games at the end. We played like a trivia game that was like Connect 4. And that was kind of fun, cause there's one person that you're trying to guess their favorite things, or like basically their favorite things, and both sides guess, and whoever they like best out of that favorite thing gets the tile, and there's like a grid of them, and then like you flip over these cards, and if you get like connect 4 in a grid, then you end up winning. I think the game could actually like lock to where no one can win, which is kind of like lame, but the game was fun overall. And like the first game we played of it, Tom was the person we were guessing for, and literally it was pretty much me alone, but Kenny was on my team, but like most of the answers were like from me. Kenny backed me up a little bit though, but like we wrecked Sam and Z, which I felt good. I'm like, I don't know how much of a stalker thing that is that I wrecked them on all the things that Tom likes more than they did, but it was fun. But it's just kind of throwaway games for the most part. Nothing that I'd be like, I need this game. No.
Yeah.
But we played D&D, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Especially since I've been
Yes.
itching to play that for like forever.
There's chickens. And
Oh
rescued
yeah,
our
that
potato.
was awesome. If you guys haven't listened to our Misplaced Meeples episode, you definitely should check it out, because there were chickens.
Big
And
chickens.
scalping of chickens and gambling with chickens. All around.
I don't think he expected me to gamble or do anything like that,
Yeah.
but I'm glad he went with it.
Well, that's the best
And,
part of D&D is that you just, if your DM is good, which Adam,
Yeah.
I'm saying you're good, you can just roll with the punches. Like if players want to do something, they ask questions, you make it up and you figure it out. And like that's one thing that board games don't really have, is like there's very much like a rules structure in a board game. In D&D, it doesn't feel like you have the walls, you know. You can run whatever direction you want and interact however you want, especially when you have a really good DM that allows you to create the story however you like see fit, you know. I mean, not
Yeah.
let you do whatever you want, but allow you to try whatever you want, you know. So, it's pretty cool.
I just want to clarify for you guys, though, and for Crystal and Adam, you don't know I have that money.
Well, I mean, Adam does as a DM. But
Adam and
Crystal and Belmo and Folly.
well, Belmo
and,
might know,
Oh,
because
yeah, Belmo
remember I
with
was
you.
yeah, but you know, Malakwa, E-Ray, and Foley, they don't know. So
Foley doesn't worry about things like money.
yeah,
He worries about squirrels.
good, good. So anyway, it was a lot of fun. And it was good to bring it back. To be honest, there were a couple of days I was worried. I didn't know if we were going to get back together and play, but I'm glad we did.
We got the band back together, which is hard to do.
Especially after such a long break.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome, guys. Did you guys play anything else exciting?
Super busy with work. And yes, I was just thinking that, Adam. We did not fight anybody at all during that entire thing.
I like it. I'm fine with that.
No, I've just I've been slammed with work, but I'm wanting to play Nemesis soon. I really want to. I was thinking about that earlier today. Maybe just like getting that to the table, playing some Nemesis. But then I also want to play Shadows over Camelot with Mr. Kent Parker and with Matt Robbins, and that plays up to 6, doesn't it?
I actually don't know. I think I've only ever
Shadows
played.
or
Yeah.
Shadows plays up to 7, and it plays
Bro.
it well. You should just grab as many people as possible,
Yeah.
as long as they're cool. Because remember that one time we played, and that one dude was just like, "What?" You thought he was the traitor because he was just the way he was playing the whole time.
He was so bad, and he would not help at all. And like you roll down on or you take points off of your dice, right, to say how much health you have left. He like ended the game with like 4 or something. It was ridiculous. It was yeah, that's right. And you were the traitor. That was the first time I played that game. Was with you. That was our very first, or my very first game ever.
And you never trusted me again.
Nope.
You got me back in
Resistance.
Resistance right after that, though.
Yeah, but I still don't trust you. Anyway, that was a good weekend.
Oh yeah, that was like early days. The early days.
That was pre-podcast days.
That was like
That was pre-Friday night days.
pretty much like right before it started.
That was like I think the second time I ever played with you, because the first time was when we played Sheriff of Nottingham, which was like at a different con.
Yeah, I think that was like in December, and then like in January that next year was when.
Or maybe it was April, and it was like International Tabletop Day, and that's how we got
I think
together.
it was Mini Mace, not International Tabletop Day.
Okay.
We're still at the same place, you know.
Yeah, it was back at the church again.
Yeah.
In Kernersville.
Yep.
Yeah. Bro.
Oh. I have been 3D printing a ton of stuff, and Darth in chat is asking why my 3D printers are under my sink. Well, for one, I now live in a condo that's a lot smaller. 2, I had the one that I had in the closet, and like I could hear it when I sleep. Those things are not necessarily the quietest. So I put it under the sink just because there was plenty of room there, and I could have them both together. And you can just shut the doors, and it keeps the temperature like warm in there, which you kind of want like the temperature to be a little bit like controlled, because you don't want the stuff to warp when it cools down. And it's just out of the way. It's a lot quieter if it's in the bathroom under the sink. Just room and space. And for some reason I now have 2 3D printers. I don't even know how that happened. Like, just another one appeared magically. I got one for half off on Facebook. So then I had to buy it. And the person like I bought it from, I don't know that they really like, it was a nice lady down here that I don't know how much English she spoke, but I felt like she opened the box and looked at it and was like, nope. And then she's like, oh yeah, 3D printing, that'd be fun. It's like, oh, it doesn't come assembled. Nope. And shut the box back.
Bro, you got a deal.
I know, that is not even a joke, because I mean the printer that
you
I have
just took advantage of an old person.
No, she wasn't even old. She was younger than me. So
wow.
Yeah.
That's not an excuse. Even the language barrier, because you're pretty young.
Right. Well, I mean,
what are you, 31?
Me, I'm 32.
32? Wow, you're getting up there. You're getting so old.
I know. I'm ancient.
Hey man, I'll be 29 in June.
Shut up. 29 in June?
They keep telling me that I'm 16 in the studio, and I'm like, I'm not 16. Stop. Like, you're just a kid. Like, stop.
It's great because I get to be adjacent to 30, so I get to worry about all the things that people worry about when they're turning 30.
Do people worry about stuff when they turn 30? I was just like, that's fine.
I had so much happen to me in my life at 30 that I did not care. Like, turning 30 was like the least of my worries at 30.
Adam says he could be your father.
Adam, you're not in your 40s. Adam's not in his 40s. Adam, you're like 37. Bro, you're his dad. You
got some explaining to do.
Yeah.
Nice.
So anyway, hey, let's get back to board games rather than
the age of Adam. We're trying to figure out the age of Adam. He never answered.
Yep. We are almost the same age, and I'm not almost. Well, I'm not almost 40, but I'm closer to 40 than I am to 30.
Oh no, 49.
No, you're talking about Mark Kale right there. You're talking about Grandpa old right there.
Grandpa Kale.
Grandpa Kale. Anyway, so what's the topic for tonight?
The topic for tonight is blinging out games. So I petitioned Rob and Matt to pick 3 games that if they had infinite time and money, what games would they bling out? And what I want to do is see if we can guess which games each other picked. So, Matt, what do you think one of Rob's is? What game do you think you would pick? And if we guess it, then you just tell us how you would bling it out, Rob.
Man, I'm gonna guess Blood Rage because I feel like that's the easy go-to.
Nope.
Okay. Neat.
I guess I need to do a guess then.
And here's why.
I'll say.
I think it's already. I think it's the only thing I don't like about Blood Rage is the map.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I want to say Zombicide Black Plague blinged out even more.
Nope.
was that almost?
Oh my God! It's Ethnos. How is it not Ethnos?
I want to say.
Here's the thing.
All right.
Ethnos made a short list, but Ethnos is not in my top 3.
All right, Rob. What is it? Give us one of them.
All right. So, all right. This was tough. I'm gonna say Battlestar Galactica for my first one.
Yeah.
Not for my favorite one. And here's what I mean by blinged out. I understand with the expansions you can get some of the bigger stuff and some of like the ships and things like that. But some of those expansions now cost like $200-something just for an expansion. And what I would love to see is like a big 3D model of the Galactica and with the different compartments open. Like if I had like a whole 3D printed ship and then little 3D printed Raptors and Cylon ships and heavy raiders and all this other kind of stuff. Like, I think that'd be really cool to see all that done. And then instead of the picture of the person, you then have like a model of that person, of like a plastic mini of that person, and they're standing in the different areas of the ship. I just think that'd be really cool. It's one of those games where it's already a really great game. I just think, man, if I did something like that, I don't know if I would ever play other things.
I've seen people have like a model of Galactica like floating above like the board a little bit.
Yeah.
Are you talking about like? I mean, if we said infinite money, I guess you're meaning like you want a model that actually has the rooms.
Well, if I have infinite money, I want the Galactica.
You just want the actual Galactica. Infinite time and money.
Yeah, I want it to be like functioning and all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah. We have infinite money.
Still a board game. How about that?
Well, I mean, I'll play board games on it.
Okay, there you go.
But yeah, that's my. I'm not crazy about that being my third one, but it was like.
It was a lot of cool stuff.
Well, it was a top choice for me. I think there are other games that I could bling out better, but that's just a game where, like, when you first open it, it's just cardboard and cards.
Yeah.
I mean, the first game was cardboards and cards. That's it.
I mean, you got little minis for the ships and stuff.
Yeah, but they're so small and cheap and stuff like that. And so anyway.
Gotcha. That's good stuff. All right, what are we gonna guess for Matt? What games does Matt have on his list?
I'm gonna say Tales of the Arabian Nights.
No, although that would be a good one.
Oh man, that would be a good one. What if you went through and like made minis for each of the monsters in Tales of the Arabian Nights? No real point. You just had them there painted, and you're just like, you meet a djinn. Here's a giant djinn.
You have one each for the moods, right? So
yeah, you have like the happy djinn, and then the angry djinn, and then the hungry djinn, and then the sleeping djinn.
For no reason.
You just have like a giant like just slap full of miniatures for all the different combinations. I mean, you're talking like infinite money, right? Or infinite time too. There you go.
Yeah.
Have all that stuff. All right. I'm gonna say Matt picked Blood Rage then.
No, actually.
Okay, Matt, give us one. This isn't working out so great.
Well, Kent guessed it in chat. It's Dead of Winter.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Because I think Dead of Winter could really benefit from some minis, at the very least the zombies. And I think it would be cool if the board like folded out and then folded up into like a literal compound where you could put all your people inside of the walls, and then you could like have a thing that you slot down in like the windows and stuff, so that you're boarding them up, so to speak. I just think stuff like that would be really cool.
I printed out a wound token for Dead of Winter. I wouldn't need to print out a bunch more, but I did this like as a test to be like, oh, how will this look? I'm like, I need to print out a bunch of these, but you know.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, I just need to put a whole bunch of them on the plate and like just make it print overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think Dead of Winter, even if it were just like, could you imagine if the locations were just like small sort of buildings that just contained like cards sort of in a pile, so you reach in and then you pull one out and you're like, oh, okay, cool. So it actually feels like you're sort of rummaging, and then the compound, like I said, can be a physical thing, and then you have all those.
Would you want miniatures for each of the characters, like survivors and zombies and everything?
I mean, yeah, zombies. I think definitely the characters. I mean, why not? I mean,
what if you had the miniatures were characters, but then all the weapons that were in the decks, they had like magnetic like things that could just like clip onto the character's hands, just like you could have whatever character with whatever weapon.
Yeah, that'd be kind of neat.
That'd be literally insane.
Just time, money, all the stuff.
Exactly.
Stuff nobody has.
Exactly. Make the most expensive board game ever.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the idea of this list. All right, I'm pretty sure mine are easy. We'll see. Somebody guess.
TI4.
Yep.
I feel like okay, I'm not going to say that. But I didn't actually put that one on my list because, I mean, I actually kind of like some of how TI4 is, and I could have gone into a lot of that. But I think you guys could think of a few reasons why I didn't put it there, because I'm living vicariously. But yeah, TI4 is not one. Do you have a guess, Matt?
No, because I was going to say TI4.
Blood Rage.
So maybe Blood Rage.
Blood Rage, I actually did put on my list.
Out Yggdrasil.
Yeah. I'd love to have like a giant Yggdrasil like in the middle of the board for like Blood Rage. Like I tried to print one out. It didn't turn out very well. But I printed out this. I wanted it to be bigger than this, but it was like a tree. But I needed to paint it up, of course. But there's no like actual Yggdrasil file online or anything, so I was like trying to put like a random tree that I found on Thingiverse with a random top of a tree that I found on Thingiverse and make them the right size. But I wanted it to be even bigger. Of course, I want like all the minis painted, but then just like the little buildings for different areas would be cool. Like when you're in different areas and they get destroyed, like having. I think they made that. Aren't they doing like destroyed building tokens or something for like when things are ruined or something?
Yeah, I think so.
I saw something about that.
Or Blood Rage?
Yeah.
There's like there are 3D pillage tokens in the new thing. So basically, what you do is you leave the tile where it is, and it's a 3-dimensional sort of burned house or village or whatever. Yeah. That literally just slots over the reward token.
Yep.
Instead of flipping it over, and then you just leave it there, and then you just take it off.
So you have like pillage.
That's coming to the Kickstarter?
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah, I think it was like it's one of those CMONs like. It's a stretch goal that I didn't get a lot. We'll put it in there. It's one of those things. Man, there's a lot of cool things you could do with Blood Rage. Like, I don't know. Just bigger everything would be fun.
See, I
You like it being more compact?
No. My only complaint with Blood Rage, I think Blood Rage is already blinged out because the minis are so great. I think it's the first awesome mini game, in my opinion, where like the minis blew me away. The only thing I don't like about Blood Rage, and it's literally grasping at straws, but the map. I just wish the map was bigger, and it'd be cool if you had like a 3D terrain map type of a thing.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I've seen people do that with Game of Thrones
picking
before.
At straws. And I've got a big map coming anyway with the new Kickstarter, but I could see Yggdrasil being cool. But I tried to do games where I would do like a complete makeover, and the minis in Blood Rage are so good, I wouldn't want to touch it.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
I mean, yeah, literally the only thing you can do with that game is like the board.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean the card stock quality for the draft cards are cool. They already blinged out like the clan tokens and all that stuff if you're able to get it, which I've got all that stuff. So it's like, yeah.
I just want a giant tree in the middle, honestly.
Well, and that's what they did for the 3D for the digital game.
Oh, they have a giant tree?
Well, on the digital game, if you look at the video for not the physical game but the digital game, it's a huge tree.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so and of course their map has got more 3D depth to it in the video game that's going to come out, but
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Rob, is Game of Thrones one of yours?
Bro, Game of Thrones is one of mine.
I was like, is it not? That would be wild.
Well, you're just speaking about like things that need to be upgraded. Game of Thrones has like plastic ships and plastic knights, and
yes,
like it's very much like token heavy as opposed to like Bling.
Well, and also heavy, the board is again too small for me for Game of Thrones. And here's why I say it's too small. It's actually a big board, but when you play Game of Thrones, there's a lot on the board. There's a lot starting off on the map.
Yeah.
And so I feel like the board needs to be bigger just to give some type of sense where like you can breathe a little bit, because one of the things that's annoying about the game with its current board, if you're playing with the full 6 players, you can't really read what any of the cities or towns are. And so when you're saying I'm attacking somebody's so-and-so, it's like, okay, was that a castle or is that a stronghold? Or how many barrels does it have on it? You can't see it because it's typically covered in stuff. And so I would love to see a bigger board and a blinged out board. And then, of course, the minis. Like a ship, like an actual ship would be nice. I'm not saying we need huge armies, but like, it'd be also kind of cool if you did some stuff from like the
Song of Ice and Fire minis and put them all into.
Oh man, that would be so awesome.
Actual Game of Thrones. I mean, you'd need a huge map to be able to do it, but
yeah, I would do that though.
That would be insane.
Speaking of that, did you guys see the Simon swag bag?
Yeah, the Simon swag bag for Simon Expo. I actually like posted on Instagram just because I was excited. But they have Song of Ice and Fire actually in the swag bag, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's over $100
just for that.
Yeah,
and then on top of that, they also have Potion Explosion, which is a good game, and
yeah,
13 Clues, which is also a good game. I think you guys would really like 13 Clues.
And then they also have some of the Rising Sun promos, which we already have. But
I think there's a special Game of Thrones promo in there too, like one of the monks or something. I don't know if it's exclusive to.
Oh, yes, but it's George R. R. Martin's character. He doesn't do anything other than whoever wins gets to hold on to that guy, and you get to tell the story however you want. He doesn't add a power or anything.
Oh, gotcha.
But it also has some zombie side promos and stuff, which they have thousands of. But still,
and it also has Gizmos promos, which I'm excited about because I love Gizmos.
Yeah. Like I was telling my wife earlier today, I was like, look, in May I may have to go to Atlanta for a day. I was like, I'll be able to sell my swag bag for more than my ticket. But she's like, you'll be driving for 10 hours. I was like, I know, but I may have to do that. Just even if I don't, just to have like 2 starter sets, because I do like the game. My problem is I just want somebody to play with me. But anyway,
they're probably gonna have tournaments there if you could actually be there for half a second.
We'll see. Anyway, so that's one of mine. Game of Thrones.
Technically, you could do the same thing that Cool Mini or Not is doing with the new Blood Rage thing, right? And take your Song of Ice and Fire minis and just sort of cut out a small bit underneath, and then all the tiles that you hide to, before you flip them, you could then put the minis down on top of them, so you have more presence on the board.
That could work. Well, and eventually one day Fantasy Flight is going to come out with their stupid playmat with the expansion. I ordered that back in November. It still is not shipped from Cool Stuff.
That's right.
Because waiting on this playmat. I even emailed Cool Stuff. They did not respond. I was like, can I just switch that out for like something else? Crickets.
Did you have something else in the order that you're waiting on too?
Yeah, I had like 4 things in the order to get it over $100.
Yep. And then it's just tied up.
I got Axes and Allies and Zombies in there. I've got the Mother of Dragons expansion, like the parts itself. Then I have the playmat, and then I've got some Crystal Clan promo clans in there and things like that, which probably going to sell my copy of Crystal Clans. And so I don't know. I just like I even emailed them. I was like, hey, I'll switch out this stuff and let's put in the Mansions of Madness newest expansion, because the new expansion's like $50.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't respond back. So I don't know. I guess
cancel it upright. Wouldn't it be the same?
Well,
thing?
I already placed the order. Like, I've already been charged for it or something, which
cancel
they should be able to refund my money. Like, I don't know. Anyway, what's your guys? What's another one on your list, Matt?
I don't know. Did you want to guess? Or do you want me to just say it?
How
do we guess if you don't know?
What's on your list? I've got one for you.
Oh, I mean, no, I know.
Mars.
Oh God, that one! I didn't even think about it. Jesus.
Definitely, most definitely. I've seen some blinged out sets of Terraforming Mars, and they're amazing.
It honestly, it needs it. It didn't make my list, but it only didn't make my list because I didn't think about it. Because
that was my guess. What's your guess, Roy?
What does? I don't know. I know.
I was gonna say, I don't know that y'all guess one of them.
Spill the beans, Matt.
So the one that was probably the most obvious would be Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Oh yeah.
I think that would be cool if each room tile were actually sort of 3D, right? So you're building the thing, and you're moving through it, and then eventually when you get done, you have an ability to sort of create your house. So you just pick up the next layer and then sort of stack it on, and then you can take pictures of the house, and stuff like that. I think that'd be super, super nifty.
Oh, that would be.
Plus, if you've got infinite time, you can sort of, make the rule book just a twinge better.
Bling out the rule book.
Yeah.
Also, if you had 2 3D printers, you could print out the board, make little rooms, and then make it where it's stackable to make a house.
Dude, if somebody had the files for that, that would be amazing.
But
hey, infinite time, you could just learn how to do Blender and then design
them. Yeah.
Or with infinite money, you could just pay somebody else to do it.
Yeah, and it's like all the little trinkets and omens and stuff you pick up, I think would be pretty cool, to be like, oh, cool, what did you find? And you just hand a dude a crow's beak, and you're like, here you go. And you're like, oh, okay,
once again,
cool.
Miniatures with magnetic parts where you just snap on the items. You found a talisman. You just snap it around their neck or whatever.
Yeah. That'd also be cool too if when you go into the room, sometimes they're like, yeah, the walls are twisted. You have a small flavor text to read, but then you're sort of sideways. So then you're like, okay, cool. So then you can magnetically apply your person to the side of the wall in the room. That'd be neat. I don't know.
Nice.
That would be cool.
When I was at Mini Mace, there was a group of people playing Burgle Bros. And they had this custom rig to where it was 3 stories out of this thing.
I think if you backed at a certain level, you got that.
It was just super cool to look at and watch and stuff, because they're moving around the rooms and then they're exploring these room tiles they're flipping over on this base, and I was like, that's actually really cool. And I was like, that would be really cool to do in a Betrayal House on the Hill type of thing.
Oh, and actually have it 3D upwards.
Yeah.
That game would be so hard to do because it's so wacky the way the board gets laid out. I guess if you had a big enough grid or whatever, you could build it. That's really cool.
Yeah.
All right, do you guys got a guess for my stuff?
I'm gonna go with the chat and say Champions of Midgard.
That's not one, but that would be a great one because it'd be cool to have miniatures for all the monsters and miniatures for the Viking worker placement. That's the thing you just print out. That's the sort of thing. It's just print that out and make it happen. It's so weird to say that, but I'm pretty sure I can find a Viking miniature. Just print it out times however many's in that game and just paint it up the right color and you're good.
I'm going to say Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea, even though it already is a pretty good game. I imagine that you have some ideas or inclinations on how to spice it up.
Dude, that is one of them. I think it'd be awesome to have some of the cardboard components are really nice, but they're still pretty fragile. Especially when you take them to cons and things like that. I'd love to see plastic towers and plastic capital cities where they were actually like building ones. I've looked online. I'm like trying to find ones that I can actually print out. But then also just like if someone took the time and the money to like actually create the board in like a 3D fashion with like, you know, the water, like the model water that they make and everything, it would just be insane to have that sort of thing, like just a board. I've seen people do that with Game of Thrones actually, where they made like the Game of Thrones game board, but then had it just like, it was basically like a model of the board, you know, which is like ridiculous. It's like the transparent water epoxy stuff or whatever it's called, resin, and then all that stuff. It just looks really crazy. I think you could do that with Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea, and it would look ridiculous. But then just like all the flying beasts and things like that have like actual 3D models of them, but then have like spaces in the back of them that you could still put your characters in. That would be ridiculous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So-
like chat said, an actual floating 3D island with magnets.
Yeah, man, you could do
An actual floating moat.
or like the thing they do where they have the air pressure that sort of keeps those spheres levitated and the like the sharper stores and stuff. Yeah.
We can have those magnetic things because I've seen like magnetic globes that rotated, and I kind of wanted one of those for my Twilight Imperium game. But you could have like one of the globes that rotate, but instead of the globe, have like the moat. The problem is that island's not supposed to rotate, but you know, it'd be whatever.
You could get it and use it on your 3D Cube Whiz World.
Yes, floating 3D cube Whiz War. I don't see any problem. I don't see how this could ever go wrong.
The ultimate.
I don't know why I didn't put that game on my list. Like, probably because I plan on actually doing it.
Yeah.
No.
With real rhinos.
Rhino Hero with real rhinos.
Real rhinos. Trying to balance it on a large piece of.
You literally use cranes to make the cards stack. It's a completely different game.
Actually, I feel like that's the best thing, right? Is like everybody's really shooting for like that old school Coney Island experience from like back in the 20s, where it's just like everything's incredibly dangerous. Like that's really what all the adults want. It's just a big theme park where everything's super goofy.
All right, Rob, what's your last one?
You want to take a guess? I had it tied, and so I'm going to go with the second answer because the first answer was already mentioned.
Okay.
I'll tell you this. My first one was Dead of Winter for everything that Matt said. Completely agree. And that's exactly what I would do, too. Plastic minis, plastic board, plastic all that
What's the
stuff.
publisher?
I'm not telling you.
Dang it.
I'll give it away.
Then just say it, because I don't know.
Matt, you got a guess?
And it's not Dead of Winter?
Well, it was tied with Dead of Winter. It's either this one or this one. But I knew you guys were going to say Dead of Winter. That was my one that I was like, all right, they're going to have that down. Someone's going to have that on their list. I'm surprised Roy should know more than you would, because I don't.
I don't know, man.
Man, I don't know. Either Risk or Axis and Allies?
No.
Okay.
Not bad guesses. But Summoner Wars.
Oh, that would be crazy.
Well, because of all the armies and the boards and the ways that you could do it, and how some of the summoners, how they actually manipulate the board and create walls, and you can make fortresses and stuff like that. I just think, Summoner Wars would be a fantastic blinged out game if you had like a bigger arena
minis
style
for each of the
board.
things is what you're
And you had
thinking?
minis and all that kind of stuff.
And actual walls that came up, and
Yeah.
me and Tom were playing a game today, and he's like, man, I would just rather play Summoner Wars. I'm like, get it, bring it out here, we'll play it now. And he's like, oh man, it's in storage. I was like, you done goofed.
Yeah.
I was like, I'd play Summoner Wars.
Yeah, but Summoner Wars is great. And it's just one of those classics where I don't know if I'll ever get rid of it.
Yep.
It's like a Shadows over Camelot for me type of a thing. I think it's a great game.
Every time I play that game, I never have a bad experience. Like, win or lose, I just have fun playing Summoner Wars. And I think it's one of those games that, like, now that, like, it's, like, they're not making more stuff for it. There's massive amounts of content out there. But I'm sad that, like, not as many people are talking about it. And people that are new to the hobby may never actually play Summoner Wars. But it's such a good game.
Yeah, but isn't it, like, 10 years old now?
Oh, it's old. I mean, it came out, like, back when I first started in the hobby.
I'm gonna look it up on BGG real quick when it came out.
Like the original sets.
Yeah.
I actually started with the master set, which I think they had like the dwarves and stuff like that before.
10 years this year. The original set came out in 2009, and then the master set came out in 2012. But the Guild Dwarves versus Cave Goblins or the Phoenix Elves and Tundra Orcs all came out in 2009. Mm-hmm. So it's 10 years old this year.
That's crazy.
Time for the remaster.
Well, they came out with an Alliance set, which I have as well.
They've got a massive amount of stuff for that game.
I have a lot. I mean,
like,
I have
crazy.
Almost all of it.
I tried to stay away. Like, I never got any of the reinforcement packs. But, like, I had a bunch of it, and I'm like, man, I just need to play this game more to justify getting more of it.
Yeah.
But I never did.
See, that's all I'm missing is some of the reinforcement packs. But I have a bunch of, like, second summoners
and stuff.
I think I have all the second summoners and stuff like that.
I played a ton. They had an app of it also. I played a ton of that app, too.
Like, yeah, but they never updated the app. It was all, like, the original ones from the master set.
Yeah.
And so that's why I quit playing the app, because it was like, okay, like...
It was a good app at the time when it actually came out, though.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, I'm surprised you didn't have that one or think of that one, Roy.
I just haven't played Summoner Wars in forever. It's a good
Neither have I. Last time I played was with you.
Man, that's been a long time. It was good, though. What about you, Matt?
Are y'all going to guess, or you want me to just pop it out?
We haven't been able to guess your stuff so far, so and you also said we wouldn't know.
So the last one is going to be Twilight Imperium 4.
Nice.
I saw a picture.
Number 5 on my list.
Yeah, I saw a picture a long time ago when we first started playing together of like these guys that just had this big table, and then they had these giant sort of planets and stuff.
Yep.
Yes. My entire brain is just cool. Let's do that. Let's get unique pieces for like every unit and every ship for each faction.
Yeah.
You know, if you can magnetize the planet so you could actually land the units on them, and then you have a visual representation of your force power on that planet, that'd be pretty cool. Mostly, I just
not do that for your brass people.
Yeah. Mostly, I just really want a game where you can use one of those old sort of war room sticks where you can just push your feet across, you know, the campaign map, and you're like, anyway, there we go, cool. Anyway, battle, let's do it.
Yeah, definitely good stuff.
There's so much
on my list, and I think I remember that same picture where it's like one guy's like on the second floor.
Yep,
and it's like taking one, and all the friends are looking up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the planets are freaking huge.
What was
I
it?
just thought,
International Tabletop Day one year, the people that made that board literally took it to like Geek and Sundry, and they like played like that board's version, that actual copy of it from those pictures. They got those people to come and bring their copy of the game with all the blinged out everything. It's pretty crazy. And they just had a stream for like hours. I think they like streamed a bunch of other games, and then they just come check back in with the Twilight Imperium game. Be like, all right, let's go back to the Twilight Imperium game. And they just stream some of it until the next game was set up, and then they go back and show the next game that was ready to be played. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Good times. But that's been like a couple years ago now.
Yeah.
Good times. Yeah, it's definitely a good one.
Yeah, but what about you, Roy? What's your...
My last one is actually Spectre Ops. I would love to have a 3D board for this as well.
Oh,
and
yeah,
with like actual like buildings with like there's so much like cool like light and shading in that game too. Like if you had like buildings with like light and like tanks and like bombs all over the place and all sorts of stuff like that, and an app that helped you keep track of the game. No, I'm just kidding.
I never would have guessed anything on your list because
It's all really good already.
yeah, like the stuff that like I don't know, and
I really
yeah.
want like 3D agenda tokens and all that stuff for everything. And I already printed out like a 3D car. I don't know. I just want the game, like the games that I really like, I want to be even cooler.
Man, the agenda tokens don't even do 3D. Just take a little LED thing and wire it up to a small thing, and then cover it in like a resin sort of pylon, so you can just put it down and it's lit up, and then you can come by and pick it up and turn it off. Whenever you like activate the thing, and specter up.
Oh, that's cool. Like you downloaded it, and so like the computer's off.
It's just
Yep.
Man,
That would be cool. Like a kiosk station or something.
That wouldn't even be that expensive.
Oh yeah, for sure. Nice.
Man, that is. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what value do you think upgrading your game adds to the board game?
Well, I mean, are you talking about value for like resale or like value of just
value
like
to you personally?
Yeah, I mean, I think it adds a lot. You know, depending on what's done. You know,
I think it can definitely.
If I'm willing to do that,
I think it can definitely add to like the immersion of the game. You know, mostly everything we said was like aesthetic stuff. You know, like stuff that makes the game feel more real. I guess I don't know. So it's like, hey, you have like actual miniatures or actual buildings in this game, or actual just blinged out this or that. That makes the game like, hey, somewhere where you actually have dudes like actually running around. Like it makes you feel more like it's just more tactile and more real. I don't know. So I feel like it can definitely add to the immersion of a game if it was blinged out certain ways. What about you, Matt? What do you think?
I mean, yeah, basically what you said. It's just it adds a lot of just personal value, I guess, to it, because some of these games are, while they're deep in theme, they're bland sort of in presentation. So it's like Terraforming Mars is like very much a space game, but when you're playing it, sometimes if you're not actively trying or looking for any of the stuff, you sort of lose it in the Euro bits of it.
I also think that if your game is blinged out or like looks really cool, it can add value in the fact of just getting other people to like want to play it with you. You know, they'll like look at it, and if it looks amazing or looks really cool, they'll just be like, "Yo, let's play this game." I mean, it just makes it easier to get to it might not make it easier to set up, but it makes it easier for other people that maybe don't even know about the game to want to like jump in. Like plenty of people have 3D printed those pieces for Terraforming Mars, like all the different things you put on the board. And I mean, if people see that, instead of it being like, okay, what's this? Like, okay, it's like a red like planet circle thing with all these little hexes, okay? But if it's like, oh, it's got all these 3D structures on it that you build out onto, what? Okay, yeah, I'm in, you know? So.
Yeah. Especially doing that at a con too is always that fun thing where people sit up there like, the game they're the most proud of, and then I'm sure they get hundreds of people walking by going, yo, what is this? And they're just looking at it like, man, it's really cool. Yeah. All right. I don't know. It's pretty nice.
Would you rather upgrade a game or buy a new game?
Buy a new game. It took me 2 seconds when I read that question when you emailed it.
Yeah.
And mine is specifically because of time.
Right.
If I had more time, sure. But right now, I get the same rush by pressing that Amazon Purchase Now button as I do. Anyway, that's me.
It's like sometimes they have Kickstarters for like, oh, upgraded cool dinosaurs for Dinosaur Island, or upgraded coins for this thing or that thing. Have you ever been tempted by any of that stuff, or you'd rather just like be like, I would rather spend that money on a completely different game?
Well, like, I'm tempted by that stuff, and so I back it because they offer it on Kickstarter to have the upgraded. Like that's one of the reasons why I bought Matt's edition Dinosaur Island, which is actually one of my answers on a later question because of the amazing coins. And what was great is I got to play He Who Shall Not Be Named's copy, right? And I was like, wow, this is amazing. These coins are fantastic. And so,
those coins, no joke.
I mean, they are. They're no joke. Like, if you hit somebody with that coin, it's going to hurt. If that was the flying burrito game, that would hurt terribly.
Can't play that with
so
kids.
That's one of the things I love about Kickstarter, especially if you have a uber successful Kickstarter. They'll do stuff like that in the Kickstarter. Like, all right, we're upgrading this and we're upgrading that. So, to me, again, on the Kickstarter, I don't consider that upgrading the game. I consider that buying the game.
Right.
You know, if you're going to ask me to upgrade the game, that's me going out of my way to like AC Moore or Hobby Lobby or something like that, and buying my own components to upgrade my own personal game, or buying something else to upgrade my game.
Right.
So,
I feel like I'm in a weird position now because I had so many awesome games. I actually got rid of a lot of games that I really like, and I always constantly have games around me now. And always in the past, I would always say I would rather just get a new cool game, and there's so many games I like. But now I'm in a weird position where I'm like, I've got a few games. I don't even have room for mini games because, I mean, I'm in a cramped condo in Florida. So it's just kind of like, well, maybe I could make the games I already have a little bit nicer. That would be kind of cool.
I mean, you have 2 3D printers.
Right. I might try to do that through printing and painting things as opposed to buying more games that are going to be at every Dice Tower Con I go to anyway, you know. Except I specifically, when I culled my collection and got rid of games, I specifically kept games that I know that I like that Tom's never going to have in the Dice Tower library just because he doesn't like them. So I'm like, forget you. I got this game because this game's amazing. But yeah, good times. But yeah. I would normally always say buy a new game as opposed to upgrading a game. But hey, maybe I'm shifting that. And it's mostly because of space.
Yeah.
Boom. Great question.
What is the first way that you like to upgrade your games? Like if there was one component or one thing that would be upgraded first. Coins?
Coins. To me, I love that feeling of the fake metal currency and all of its like, you know, different fake hieroglyphic stuff on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like to me, like Seafall, for example. Stupid game. It was dumb. But I'm glad I backed it because I got the Seafall coins. You know, I got the gold coins. And I just like sitting there, like, playing with the coins and just, like, holding the coins. I don't know. For some reason, it just feels, I don't know, like it's important. Like this $1 piece, right? That means nothing in the game. You're really broke. But it feels great in my hand, so I don't feel broke.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's one of the main reasons I was drawn to Zaya when I first got it was because it was one of the first games I ever got that had actual metal coins in it. And I'm just like, what? These crazy triangle metal coins? These are ridiculous.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Good stuff. But normally I upgrade my games by slowly painting half of the miniatures and then never painting the rest of them.
Yep. Sounds right.
Yep. I have a whole bunch of half-painted games.
Yeah.
I've got several games with like 1 or 2 figures painted.
I have several games with like 7 figures painted. And that's about it. I'm like, oh, I should really paint the rest of these. But, you know, there's other things to do. What about you, Matt? What's the first way that you like to upgrade games?
I mean, if I'm going to, my ultimate goal in pretty much any game is to remove all cardboard chits and replace them with other things.
Have you ever thought of coin capsules for games? So, I don't know if I don't have it, but like my Arkham Horror game has these coin capsules that you can get, and you can get these in like different sizes. They're like clear plastic that I put on the tokens, and instead of just grabbing tokens from a bag, you actually grab these. They're the same tokens, but they're actually just like in plastic coin capsules. But you
So they have-
online you can just figure out the millimeter size of the coin, and you can just get like different coin size capsules for game and just upgrade the cardboard tokens, especially if they're round. You can upgrade the cardboard tokens into like cardboard tokens with plastic cases on them, and they're actually really, really cheap overall. You can get like a ton of them for super cheap online. So depending on the game, that sort of thing might be a cool way to bling out a game.
Yeah.
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 Depending on the game, that is. Is there a component that more companies should have upgraded in their games?
Yes.
Yes, but I will not tell you what it is. Just keep on guessing.
Oh.
I was like, same answer. Upgrade all.
No, for me, plastic. There's no reason you should really have cardboard, standees, or minis. Plastic is super cheap right now. And with this whole 3D printer thing going on, you know, like I don't like cardboard. And it's for what you said earlier about Heroes of Landair Sea. Like, I've already broken a couple of my towers and one of the ships in Heroes of Landair Sea just by trying to put the stupid thing together.
Yeah,
right?
rough.
That cardboard bends, and then it never looks the same, and it just bothers me. It's like, crap. Like, I'll see that tore or something like that where... so just do plastic. Just plastic is not that expensive anymore. It's really not. Like, I don't know the price difference, and I may be way
I
off.
think modeling and the molds or whatever are really expensive to get like those, like the molds made. But the more you sell of something, of course, the cheaper that gets. You know.
3D printer it.
Yeah.
That also takes a lot of time. But
Well, if you're wanting to create a board game, you should invest the time,
yeah.
right? That's your job. Your one job is to do that. I've got multiple jobs, right? Like, do it. Just do it.
Make
Like,
games
if that's
look
your
amazing.
job, do it.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think, Matt? Is there something that that publishers should upgrade more? Or even if it's third-party companies, if there is a third-party company that should make more types of upgrades for games.
For me, it's probably just either the board or the cards. Because in my mind, there's nothing worse than getting a board that you fold out and it feels like you're ripping it as you're folding it out. Or you're getting cards that feel like 2 to 3 sheets of paper that have been sort of lacquered together, you know? Yeah, I don't know. That would be the thing. I feel like me and Rob are now on this kick where it's just like, yeah, man, playmats, that's the business. Hard to bring
right now.
places,
Like,
but playmats are great.
Yeah, they're so hard to store, but for some reason they're just so satisfying.
They're so good. And they're just so good, and it's like, I don't know. I also wish companies would stop using those small Fantasy Flight cards.
Oh, really? You hate those?
I'm not super
normal size cards.
Yeah, and it's like if you need bigger cards in your game, go normal size and then go tarot card size. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's gonna be mad that you have bigger artwork. I don't feel like.
No more Hobbit cards for Matt.
Yeah, I mean, look, Hava's the one company that I'll be like, okay, that's sort of fine because they're designing games for children. Children have small hands. That makes
I
sense.
said Hobbit cards.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because they're tiny.
That makes more sense.
But now I have to go remake my prototype. I'm sorry, Matt, that I've offended you.
Oh, that's fine. I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Dude, if all the board games, like at least all like the bigger board games, came with playmat options, that would be amazing. Like, hey, add on this playmat to your game, or hey, get this playmat for your game. And it'd also be awesome if they found a way to, like, I guess, if more companies started making them, then I feel like the prices on them might go down. You know, if they're more readily available. You know. Just have
Well, and I
more
also
factories
like
make
Kickstarters
playmats.
are doing that as an add-on option.
Right.
Like, if you want this at a premium price, we'll make these, and you're going to go ahead and you're going to pay for it, right?
Yeah.
Because like these playmats are not cheap.
Right.
yeah, I'd give me that option, right? So,
For sure.
Yeah.
but anyway, I'm with you, Matt. If you've got a nice play mat right now, okay.
Yeah.
Like Tiny Epic Zombies does not need it. It's a fantastic game without it, but I won't play it without my play mat.
Yeah,
I love
I have
it. It's
Good.
literally just a grid on where to put your cards. It serves no other purpose other than deck pile here,
I mean, I even
discard
have
pile.
play mats for all of the like the Tiny Epic Galaxy stuff, and those are all ridiculous. It's just like, I don't know, it's just quality. Like how do you mess up a playmat? I mean, spill something on it, but besides that, you don't have to worry
Well,
about
it's like
busting the
I
board.
can. The only thing that I can see is if you play a game a lot. Like I have this mouse pad that I've had for years, and it's like it's starting to sort of fray around the edge that I use it at a lot. But it's like I've had this thing for, I mean, years, like 10 years, and I use this thing constantly. You know, so it's just like
And a lot of companies are starting to do like stitched edge play mats, and those are just amazing.
Yeah.
Like the Rising Sun one is just stupidly like beautiful.
It's so good.
I actually am really sad that I didn't get the playmat after I saw yours and we played it at Dice Tower, Rob. I was just like, man, that sucks. And then I went back to Kickstarter. And I was like, is it an exclusive? I was like, sure enough.
Which they'll probably have it at CMON Expo or something where you have to like
Yeah.
buy $50,000 of this other thing and get one play mat or something.
Yep.
That's awesome.
But that's one of the reasons why when the Blood Rage thing came out, I was a little hesitant on Blood Rage, right? And then the playmat came out. I was like, done. Here you go. You know, because of the playmat. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I understand that all too well. I was just like, I don't know that I'm going to back this. And I was like, ooh, but there are things that I'm missing that are here.
Well, and after I backed the playmat, because they used to
And they
show the
came out
playmat
with
from the pretty early on.
Yeah.
And then they started coming out with all the extra minis, and that's when I was like, yes. Like, okay. And I spent more on the second Kickstarter than I did on the first Kickstarter.
That's crazy. It's all just like add-on stuff.
Yeah, it's all it is. It really does not. I mean, it will change the game some because it's a card or two or a character, but like, I already have a really good game. Like, I already have it. So, yeah.
That's awesome. What would you say is your most blinged out game?
Okay, so this is a game that I went out of my way and blinged out a little bit, right? It's not like if I was going to say most blinged out, I would honestly have to go back to Dinosaur Island, especially with Matt stuff. And I had the new Kickstarter edition one came in that I backed the second running of it where I got like the new dinos and all that kind of stuff. But my most blinged out game that I went out of my way to bling out is Wits and Wagers Vegas.
Yeah.
I have the I got like poker chips. I got stuff like that to kind of make it like a full awesome Vegas experience. And so to me, you know, that may not be a lot to some people, but I spent like $30 on poker chips for a game that already comes with chips. But I just felt I play this game a bunch. I play with my family or both of our families all the time. I play this a lot when I'm introducing it to people, and I just thought with the new poker chips that'd be a lot of fun. And so, not very exciting, you know, but I feel special about it because it did not come with the game, and I went out of my way and did it.
Yeah.
So boom. Now I have games that've got amazing components, and if I was going to go second place, Joan of Arc. When that game comes in, I've got a whole village coming to my house.
I want to see pictures of the boxes without them opened. You have to take pictures of like what it looks like just when it comes, just on your doorstep. I want to see.
I've already been notified. They can't even send it all to me in one wave. It's going to come in like
I want
for
to
the
see
people that backed at my level and beyond.
We have a picture
get
just with
waves.
giant stacked boxes and your wife behind it making an angry face, but there's so many boxes you can't even see her. I'm just kidding.
Roy, I'm not even lying. That could probably easily happen where you like I could make the boxes hide my wife if I wanted to. From like her tippy toes to the top of her head and possibly beyond her arm reach. I mean, I'm so excited. I may keep the boxes of the first wave because I am going to open them, but I'll keep the boxes so I can stack them. So when the second wave comes in, I can then stack it all. But yeah.
That's awesome. I don't actually like normally buy many things to bling out games. I've done a lot of like painting like for my games to make them nicer. But I don't really normally like buy
But see, I don't see painting as blinging it out.
Yeah. I guess it's not the same thing, you know.
Right? Because like you're not upgrade. I mean,
Right.
yes, you are upgrading the quality of that mini because you're painting that mini.
I might
But
be
you
too
didn't
cheap.
change anything about that mini.
I might be too cheap to do it, you know? I don't know that I've ever bought a specific like thing to bling out a game. Like
Mine
either
was
one.
Wits and Wagers. I literally bought a poker set. Like I'm with you, Roy. I typically don't do that. I'll paint some. Like I bought some stuff for painting, but
I will craft my game before I will actually spend specific money to bling out things. Like people make tons of crazy inserts and awesome things for games. I've never bought like a board game insert.
neither
It's
have I.
funny. The one I got a trade copy of Arkham Horror LCG, and I traded away the actual like insert to Trevor for like another game. Like I gave him the insert that came in the trade copy I got. So the blinged out insert that I had was like a nice like wooden like laser cut insert. I traded away the insert so that I could get more game, you know, as opposed to blinged out insert.
That's how we roll.
This is how we roll. I don't know.
Now Matt, on the other hand,
Well, you know.
Have you bought like blinged out component pieces, Matt?
Um,
I know he's bought inserts.
yeah, I bought inserts. There's this guy on Etsy that makes acrylic trays, and I bought them for Terraforming Mars and Great Western Trail.
Oh, I did buy
Just
some
because-
trays for
Those are
Eclipse.
games that basically really need it, and I don't know. They're really good quality. They feel good. Yeah, it's just nice. So yeah, other than that, I don't know, because it's like I'll tend to spring for the games that have more stuff on it. Like I ended up buying Alien Frontiers, like the big box version, because I like that game. But then it also came with all the expansions, and then it had little like habitats that had like just a small like little plastic dome over it, and I was just like, "Yo, that's really cool." So I don't know.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm actually really sad because I just realized I no longer have Alien Frontiers.
Oh no.
I know. I keep getting really sad when I wouldn't care or wouldn't even think about it until somebody mentions the game. It's like, oh yeah, I really like the game. Wait, I actually don't have it anymore. What are you gonna do? I moved like a bajillion boxes of games already.
Yeah.
It's fine. Nice. Awesome, guys. Well, I guess we can start to wrap this thing up. Does anybody in chat have any ways that they blinged out their games? Nick says that he really wants to bling out his Keyforge bits. I did get some glow-in-the-dark, like, fish rock things for my Keyforge Amber. And I have the basic cardboard keys. But I'd love to have, like, better keys for Keyforge. I just need to play it more before I would bling it out anymore. Because I like that game. I just haven't played it as much. I need to steal Tom's Dicey Tower deck, though. He bought a deck off of somebody that was like actually named like Pale Brain the Dicey Tower. Like, because there was one that actually had that name. It was computer generated that way. I'm like, oh man, that's crazy. I keep trying to look for like decks that have the name Roy in it, but they're all like Viceroy of this or Viceroy of that, and I don't think that's quite the same. I wonder if I could find any Matt or Rob decks. That would be really cool. I also looked for like Epic Gaming Night decks. Nope, they're not there. Or Epic.
When you beat Tom in the soccer game in chat, I was like EGN, EGN, EGN.
That's probably why he stopped playing. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
He was defeated. I was like, get the vuvuzelas out. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Goal. I don't know. I was being stupid.
I actually typed in goal before you said it. I was
Really?
like, oh. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But man, I'm excited to see you and a bunch of these people in chat at Dice Tower Con this year.
Yeah, for
I feel rather certain. I feel like 75% certain that I'll be there. I've already got my ticket.
Good.
And so I'll try to crash with somebody
Matt, are you going?
last minute.
I mean, I should probably go, but
I don't know how we're going to do scavenger hunt without you,
my
Matt.
taxes.
And Adam's
I really
trying to go.
That's the thing. My taxes this year are going to determine what I do for the remainder.
Oh, really? You want to talk about that?
We can. I mean, not on stream.
I'll switch with you.
No.
Yeah, Rob has
No.
to just pay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I may be like texting, like if Adam does go, I'll be like, Adam, get a room. I'll sleep with you. Okay,
Yeah.
real quick though, how awesome would it be if Adam did get like a room and you and I crashed with him, Matt?
That'd be stellar.
I was about to say, I don't know why you guys wouldn't do that if you all went.
I'll bring my
The more
pizza.
the cheaper it is.
Get kicked out of the hotel because I'm trying to cook pizzas out in the parking lot.
Also, Adam, if you do go to Dice Tower and you do get a room or you plan on getting the room, I'll be more than happy to help pay my portion. I will not give this tip online, but this tip works for me. So if you get a room, text me, all right? And I will let you know this tip for getting a possible better room.
Nice.
It like legit works. So, anyway, we'll discuss that later.
Hype.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll see a bunch of you people. Darth, we got to see you at some sort of con someday.
We've got to meet Darth.
Come on, Darth. Where you at?
You've got to meet Darth.
One of these days we'll figure out where he lives and just come to his house.
Is that how that works?
That won't be weird.
I
at
think
all.
he's like in the Midwest.
Perfect. It's the middle.
Yeah, but he should come to Dice Tower, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like I was talking to my wife this week about cons because she was asking like what's our schedules like for the year, and I've got a bunch of stuff already booked up for the year, and I was like, there's like 2 cons I'd really like to go to. I mentioned CMON just to go grab the stuff, but I was like, if I can't go, I can't go.
Yeah.
But I was like, I really want to definitely go to Dice Tower, and she was like, that's the 4th of July. I said yes. They only do it that week because nobody else is dumb enough to have a con on the week of 4th of July.
Right?
Which it makes sense, though.
The busiest weekend in Orlando, Florida.
Right?
Yep.
But it works. Like, it makes sense because, like, no other big con is going to do it on that holiday weekend.
Yep.
And then I said PAX Unplugged just because this will be its 3rd year now, and you guys have gone.
It was really good.
And you guys have both said it's been really good. And the pizza, I'd love to have a Philly cheesesteak. I've never had an authentic Philly cheesesteak from one of the houses there. Like, I've had Philly cheesesteaks, but not like from Philly. So anyway, I think it'd be
had a Philly cheesesteak in an Irish pub with cold milk.
Nick, yes. Sorry, I forgot. Stranger Things comes out on July 4th.
Oh yeah, because we were talking about that. I was talking about that to Tom. I was like, oh yeah, my co-host said they were just gonna sit in the hotel room and binge Stranger Things.
Oh, God. That'd be an evening.
And I bet he said, as long as I get that ticket, that's fine.
No, he didn't say that. He was just like, well, it's not going anywhere. I was like, you don't understand.
He doesn't understand.
You don't understand, Mr.
And technically, the board games aren't going anywhere either.
Anyway, Nick, yeah, we may have to talk. We may all have to crash with Nick. Adam, we may crash with Nick. We'll see. But Nick's got people. Nick knows people. Nick's a big deal. I don't know if you guys know this.
Wait, Nick is in Orlando.
He is, but Nick knows people. Like, Nick's sort of the competition, but he's not competition. But he also does his own board game stuff. Like, Nick's a big deal.
He's such a big deal.
He's
got
been
hat.
to the future.
He's been to the future and back.
And back. And he's going back to the future.
Nice.
Ba-dunch.
Awesome, guys.
Good times.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight. We stream these Tuesday night at 9 p.m. at youtube.com/Epic Gaming Night. I want to say thank you so much to all of our amazing patrons for helping support Epic Gaming Night and everything we do here. If you want to check us out and support Epic Gaming Night, make sure to check us out at patreon.com/Epic Gaming Night. But yeah, it's totally been a ton of fun. You guys are all the best. And make sure to hit us up on Twitter and Instagram at Epic Gaming Night, at Shades of the Mind / at Chugaslug, and then at writing.newman on both Twitter and Instagram. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, but I haven't checked that Instagram in forever. I have a whole other one that I've been doing.
Handsome Robert at Instagram. No, I'm just kidding. Don't go to that one. Don't go to that one. I'm warning you, don't go to that one. No, I'm just kidding. Awesome, guys. Well, thanks so much, everybody. Chat, you've been awesome. We'll
Kent,
see you guys
hopefully
next
I'll
week.
see you in March. Kent, tell Courtney we said hello, and little Spider-Man as well. Everybody have an awesome night.
Awesome. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.